And our first guest today, special teams coordinator and running backs coach Andre Powell, is joining us to get us started.
Mute me?
I'm going to unmute you.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
We got you, Coach. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure.
We'll go ahead and open up for questions for Coach Powell.
Not all at once.
Coach, I'm curious, what's the roller coaster been like the last, few week for you guys? On Thursday you're practicing, preparing to play, and then Thursday night you're not. I mean, what's it been like for somebody on your end of the deal?
From my perspective?
Yes, from your perspective.
I control what I can control, and the rest I let go. They say we're going to play, get prepared to play. If they say we're not playing, I go fishing.
Is that what you did, Andre?
Saturday, yeah.
Any luck?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That secret spot you went with Pickett and Aston a while back?
No, we didn't go there. I went up to Shenango Lake.
Okay. Hey, Andre, my question, aside from what we saw in the Florida State game with your running backs, what kind of progress are you seeing from them in practice and in your meetings?
They're learning. It's a process. You wish you could speed it up, but everybody progresses at a different rate of speed. It took Allison a while, Hall a while. Again, you wish you could teach them and they could learn it, but each week there's different factors, there's different defenses, there's different pressures. So there's a lot of things you deal with, but they're getting better. So just hope stay the course.
Andre, does it help giving a majority of the reps to the Davises so they can get into a routine? Do you think that will help the ground game going forward?
Perhaps. I know it's easier to manage, but like I said, each week there are different things you have to deal with. There are different matchups. There's different reasons why you play certain guys based on what the defense is doing. So it varies. But last week against Florida State, that was good for our guys to have some success the way they did.
Andre, you've been in the ACC a while. I mean, looking at Virginia Tech, do they look any different without Bud Foster calling the defense?
Well, they're good. They were always good with Bud, and they play hard. They're blitzing from every angle, so it looks a lot like Bud's stuff. I mean, it's not. You can, since I've been in the league so long and competing against Bud for so long, there are certain things I see that Bud did that, the new crowd's not doing, but they're good and they cause problems and there's a lot of pressure and there's a lot of twisting, and those are some of the characteristics of Bud's teams as well.
Andre, you were asked about you. How about the team? How have they responded to the COVID positives and moving forward here?
I'm sorry. Can you ask that question again, please? I'm sorry.
No, I know you were asked about you, but how has the team responded to the COVID positives and kind of moving forward from here?
It's always disappointing, when you lose a guy who's a mainline guy, and everyone knows. I mean, everyone that's tested positive, with a little more caution, they probably could have prevented it. But our kids are tough, and anytime a guy goes down, that's just gonna create an opportunity for another guy. So we just play next man in ball and just keep rolling. We don't make excuses. We don't expect any letdowns, and if you're in the huddle, you're a starter, and that's the way we go about it.
Andre, I know it was towards the end of the game, but you were able to run out the clock that last series with Izzy and Daniel Carter. I mean, what stood out about their running there, and does that get them on the field a little bit more this week?
Well, they ran hard. To answer your question, they played really well. The problem you get into is there's only so many snaps, and we're probably the only team in the ACC that was rotating four backs. That's because there's no guy that's just clearly better than the other. You know, Vince does some things really good. AJ does some things really good. And, you know, we wish that one of those guys would say, hey, I'm the starter. And it looks like Vince is probably, as a total package, a little bit better than the rest. But it's difficult to rotate those many guys. And no matter how you slice it, at the end of the night, someone's going to get less reps than someone. And someone, you know, there's a potential for someone to get mad, you know, why didn't I play more? But that's just the, you know, I always respond the same. Practice better, play better. You know, you make more plays. The more plays you make, the more you play. And so that's just the way we go about it.
Andre, Pat has been talking about how, you know, Vincent and AJ were the ones that were stepping up and that they were earning the bulk of the carries as we saw. But what are the things that they've done to separate themselves, and what are maybe some of the things that you've been looking for from, say, people like Izzy and the guys that have been coming behind them?
You know, just being disciplined with your reads. You know, all reads are not absolute. You know, based on how blocks unfold, the ball is supposed to go certain places. And if you stick it in there, it's a high percentage chance you will have a successful play. And if the read says go left and you go right too often, then that's going to reduce your amount of play. The Florida State game, the focus mainly was protection. You know, Kenny was coming back his first game after ankle surgery, and we wanted to make sure, no matter what, we were going to keep him healthy. And Florida State had, you know, they were very capable of rushing and blitzing. So the main focus in the Florida State game was who's going to keep Kenny safe. And that's why those two guys, AJ been the veteran who's seen, you know, pressures for 4 years now, and Vince, who's pretty heads up and pretty tough and has pretty good fundamentals when it comes to pass protection. Those two guys were the best at understanding all the pressures, how we adjust the protections to pick up certain blitzes. And that's why those two guys played the most.
Andre,
Go ahead.
when you recruit guys at this level, running backs at this level, I'm sure they all have outstanding physical capabilities and they're physical guys. Why is it tough for a freshman, even though he didn't do much of it in high school, to be a good pass protector?
Why is it easy? Why is it hard for an offensive lineman to be a good pass protector as a freshman? You know, the guys they're blocking are different. You know, all these guys played in good leagues, but you know, some of the guys that Izzy blocked when they played Canarsie, they're a little different in Tallahassee. They're a little different in Blacksburg. And I always tell them that, hey, well, you know, we're not playing Chaminade this week. We're playing Miami or whoever it is. So that's the first thing. The guys that they're blocking are better at getting to the passer. The other thing is college coaches have done a really good job at teaching fundamentals, the different ways to set backs up for failure and some of their schemes. And frankly, guys in high school don't see the variety of pressures. And again, the protections adjust, whether it's odd, whether it's 4 down, whether it's nickel, how we communicate. So it's a lot going on, and the common, you know, most people wouldn't understand how complex it could be, and it's confusing, and it happens fast, you know. And they don't always set still when the ball snaps. They're moving. You're reading safeties. You're reading corners. You're reading the width of the mic, which hand the nose guard has down. There's a lot of things going on, and processing it is not easy to do in the small amount of time you have to get it done.
Take a couple final. Go ahead, Will. You've been trying to get one in.
Yeah, no, it's okay. You know, why has there not been any separation in that position, do you think? I mean, I'm sure you didn't think you'd be getting to the week before Thanksgiving and still talking about rotating as many guys as you are.
Well, again, I think some guys progress at different rates of speed. You know, we've had some injuries that prevented some of that. You know, Daniel got hurt in the Syracuse game, no, not Syracuse, the NC State game. early in the game. He was having a heck of a game, and he got hurt, missed a couple of weeks. AJ got hurt, and he missed a couple of weeks. Again, I think Vince is making steady progress, and he's been here a year longer than Izzy. And I think Izzy's making good progress. But everybody, like I said, they progress at a different speed. And we've had setbacks with guys being injured and so forth. Sibley's hurt. So, and again, there's only so many reps. And when you're trying to figure out who's the best guy, and a guy goes down, you put a guy in. This guy does this really well. Put him in again. Let him do this. And then when you play fast, and sometimes you guys get caught in the game, and they're asked to do something that they may not be the best at. They can do it, but we may have another guy better suited for that. So there's a number of factors. And again, we're trying to get them. We all wish they were, all ACC candidates, but they're not. So we'll just keep coaching and just stay the course.
Andre, practice today, just you guys getting back out on the field after, obviously shutting down over the weekend and everything. Could you sense just kind of an eagerness with the players and even the staff to get back out there and prepare for Virginia Tech?
Yeah, they were really eager. They were in here early. There were Zoom meetings last night. Guys calling late in the night, wanting the scripts. Wanting to know what film they needed to watch to get ready for today's practice. So it was a good feel. It was a good vibe on the field today.
One more, if you don't mind, Andre. Have you had to counsel and have conversations with some guys who aren't playing as much? And how have those conversations gone for you and them?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand the question.
Have you had to counsel and have conversations with guys who aren't playing as much? And how have the conversations gone?
Frank, real frank. This is why. This is what you need to do. That's pretty simple. This is why. This is what you need to do. Until you do it, status doesn't change as much.
Anything final? All good. Coach Powell, appreciate your time. Thank you as always. Have a great rest of your day.
Hey, take care.
Thanks, Andre.
Bye-bye.
And Mr. Turner has joined us. DJ, thanks for your time.
How you doing?
Doing well. We'll go ahead and open up for questions for DJ Turner.
DJ, we asked about Jordan Addison when you first got here and what you thought of him. Now, after being his teammate for a couple months, what are your impressions of him as a player?
He's a great player. I think he has a really bright future ahead of him. He does a lot of things very well. He has a lot of things to his skill set that makes him the player he is, and it's showing every Saturday. So I feel like, there's no ceiling for him right now. He's got a lot of getting better to do still, but he's great. I can't wait to see how his future plays out.
DJ, I'm curious, just sort of, can you take us through your emotions about what happened last week? And then, look, you're scheduled to play your last game at Heinz Field on Saturday. How much, I guess how much anxiety do you have just that you guys are going to be able to maybe even pull it off?
I'm definitely excited to get back out on the field. After during the course of a season, you get to 8 games and you start to get tired, and then boom, that happens, and you realize that you can't, you might not be able to finish the season, or how you never know how things will play out. So it kind of gives you more, it kind of helps you not take any of these games for granted, because you never know with everything that's going on. So you kind of appreciate it a little bit more. So I know that's definitely how I felt today, getting back out on the field after not knowing how things were kind of going to play out. You just appreciate just being on the field and playing football, because, like I said, it's a lot going on.
DJ, you're listed as a redshirt senior, but I was wondering if you're thinking about maybe taking advantage of the extra year, maybe playing a 2021 season that's a little more normal than this one.
I'm definitely thinking about it right now, but my focus is more on just finishing these last couple of weeks, or however many more weeks we got, and then I'll start to focus on that more once the season is over. Sit down and kind of figure out what's best for me, whether to leave or to come back.
DJ, is there concern among the team? When a couple people get COVID, are guys openly worried? Like, what's the reaction been from that regard?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of concern. I mean, but at the same time, you could go pick up some food and get COVID. Like it's everywhere. So I know a lot of people are worried about their health and well-being. But I feel like right now we all trust the training staff and the coaching staff to put us in the best position possible to not get it. I mean, that's basically all we can do for right now. So yeah, that's pretty much that for real.
You grew up around that area. What do you know historically about Virginia Tech defenses and what you expect to face on Saturday?
I mean, Virginia Tech is known for, like you said, they're known for having really good defenses, and we're expecting to go out and play against a stout defense on Saturday, and we just got to come and do our job, and hopefully we can get the advantage over those guys. But I mean, yeah, that growing up not too far from Blacksburg, you dream about playing against those guys or playing for those guys, and I'm grateful for the opportunity.
DJ, you integrated into the team, early into the season and had to make quick adjustments. What's it been like now that you guys have, you guys had a bye week and now you had this situation, you had to do virtual meetings. Can you talk about just some of the challenges you guys faced and how you guys have responded to having to keep adjusting to a season where you've already adjusted so much?
Yeah, I mean, from the beginning, like from summertime, everywhere in like the whole landscape of college football, like this is a year where you have to be flexible because you never know what the next day is going to bring. So, like as the year went by, we got 8 games in and everything was looking good. We kind of got too comfortable and forgot about what was going on in the rest of the world. It just kind of brought it back that you still need to be flexible and be able to move on, like change on the move, like be able to do whatever we have to do to finish out the season. So, like, I mean, and then we got to keep that up now because, I mean, we want to finish out the season and get those games made up. I mean, get this Georgia Tech game made up and all that stuff. So, got to do what we got to do.
Any final questions?
DJ, since you had the big game against NC State, have you noticed defenses leaning your way and maybe keeping a closer eye on you since then?
Not to my knowledge. I mean, I'm sure that it's been brought up in those rooms, but I haven't actually noticed anything like any special attention on me or anything like that. Like I said, I haven't seen it yet. I don't think, at least.
All good. Hey, DJ, appreciate your time. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day.
You too. Appreciate it.
And we're back with our final guest today, linebacker Chase Pine. Chase is unmuted. Thanks for joining us, Chase.
How you doing?
We'll go ahead and open up for questions for Mr. Pine.
Chase, way back in the recruiting process, I know Virginia Tech was a school that recruited you, and ultimately you picked Pitt. I mean, is this a big game for you being a Virginia native, and is it one you always circle?
Yeah. Having the guys text me back from home saying that we got Virginia Tech this week definitely kicked it into perspective for me, knowing that we got some local guys I'm going against. So I'll be ready for this game.
Chase, how did you spend your Saturday, I guess, off? I know Pat Narduzzi, he said that you guys felt like you lost, not playing on Saturday. But how did you spend what became an off day, I guess?
It was good, honestly. I got to watch film of Virginia Tech against Miami. Saw some things that I liked. Finally got to be a regular guy on the weekend, so that was fun. But yeah, I definitely got to watch college football, so see what was going around in the buzz.
Was it weird, that kind of state of limbo that you guys were in over the weekend, not knowing, and even until I guess yesterday, not knowing what those Sunday test results were and if you guys would practice today, even though that was the plan?
Knowing us, I just felt like we were going to practice just because, being here at Pittsburgh, Coach Narduzzi is definitely on us about staying with each other and just being, more solidified from all the other people and stuff. So it was just, I knew we were going to practice this weekend just because of the simple fact that the guys wanted to play this week just because we had the week off. So.
Chase, because you guys have been so successful in sort of avoiding this, did that lead to any false sense of security, you think, among the guys in terms of taking the proper precautions or anything like that?
I wouldn't say that. It was just more of like guys wanted to know what was wrong or how it happened. But you know, it's gonna happen on its own. It's a silent little killer, but it got us. But we'll come back stronger.
Chase, you the linebackers were playing really strong against Florida State. You guys really picked it up and were, stopping the run, pressuring the quarterback, helping all over the field. You guys seem to catch that sort of momentum back, and then it stops last week, and then you have to do meetings over the weekend. Can you talk about just the discussion that you guys have had amongst the players specifically about having to keep that momentum going forward for these last few games?
One thing you saw during the Florida State game was energy and emotion. So I feel like we have to go into this game the same way because I'm not going to lie, last year Virginia Tech got to us, what was it, 18-0. So we have a little chip on our shoulder this year. So guys are coming to work. It's not like we had a bye week. Honestly, we felt like we were coming this week just to show it to them. So like you said, it's a different type of edge around here, especially because I think we're losing the series against Virginia Tech, so this is a big one, especially for I and Patrick being from Virginia.
Watching Virginia Tech, I mean, Khalil Herbert's a guy that wasn't around last year. He's kind of been their main guy this year. What stands out about him, and what do you see in his game?
He trusts his blockers. He's going to run. He's a running back, so he's just trying to find the open hole, and I'm here to make his day not so good. So. I feel like it'll be a good matchup. One of the best run defenses against one of the best running offenses. So it'll be a good weekend this week for matchups.
Chase, is this your last game at Heinz Field? And if so, will it fill you with any more energy knowing that you may not be back to Heinz Field next season?
Hopefully it's not, but if so, then I'm going to try to play it as like it is my last game period. But I just wanted I'll see how it goes this weekend, talking with my family. Either I'll come back or not. So, yeah.
Chase, as a group, I know it's going to be an odd senior day. What do you think you guys have left the Pitt program? What impact do you think you guys have made on the program?
I remember coming in and seeing the guys, and I was like, when we were younger, we were just ready to get on the field, and now that it's here, it's just like I feel like we left an impact of you can come from being nothing and then coming up to being one of the top defenses in the nation. So I feel like we definitely left an impact of you can go from the bottom to the top fast. So.
Any final questions for Chase? All good. Well, we appreciate your time as always, Chase. Have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week.
Thank you.
And that'll conclude our guests for today. We'll get back again tomorrow and do it again. So have a great rest of your evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, RJ.